All right, good morning, good afternoon, or good evening. Whatever time it is when you hear this message, I pray that you're poised to receive, to accept, and to respond to words of wisdom. Ashe. Today I saw a really magnificent clip of a young brother assessing critically the value of chess. And he was remarking about how chess is a bit unrealistic, right? In the sense that chess starts off with two teams that have the same equipment. They got the same resources coming into the battle, which doesn't happen in real life. He's talking about the fact that all of the players, the pieces on the chess board all follow directions, right? Where I place you is where you go. You're not going to improvise. He gave like four different distinctions between the game of chess and reality. And he was saying basically because of those four things, chess isn't quite aligned with how real life battle takes place. And it's true. He's right. And it's just a clip, so I don't know how he elaborated upon what he said or what the final conclusion of it is. But what I want to speak on is just the importance and the value of a plan, right? Chess is not intended to be a blueprint, right? When you get a blueprint for a structure tells you exactly how you're going to measure every plank, and a blueprint also is going to have within it a not an attrition rate, but a deterioration rate. It's going to tell you the rate at which this wood is going to break down. You're going to have to replace it, and the wires are going to have to be replaced, and the pipes, right? All that goes into a plan. Okay, chess is not a plan. Chess is just a model for how you plan, and you got to understand the difference. That you've got models and you've got structures and motifs that give you a point of reference to say that this is how the strategies are laid out. These are the variables that go into a campaign. These are all the players that you're going to need, and these are the strategies and the tactics that you're going to need to apply. But when it comes to the moment of actually planning, that's something different. You're going to plan based on your reality. So if we stay with the analogy of a blueprint, hey, the blueprint for a structure on a certain kind of soil, on a certain kind of a slope, all those environmental factors are going to determine how you execute that campaign. If you're in a rainy place, if it's heavily forested, if it's dry and if there's constant snow, all that's going to determine how you actually plan and how you execute. Okay, but you've got to have the principles of building in mind in order to know how to put things into proper place. When we look at Orisha lifestyle, and we look at, even more importantly, Yoruba civilization as a whole, it provides us with a model. It's like a chessboard. You're looking at what the ideal circumstances are. You're looking at what the real principles are. And you're then taking those principles and you're applying them to your real life situation to say, based upon the best practices, based upon the real structure of success and high efficiency, this is how I need to implement this in this set of circumstances in order to bring everything up to speed so that I have everything in place to execute according to what's necessary, right? Now, the trouble that a lot of us struggle with is that, quite honestly, all of us haven't been exposed to planning. We don't know what a plan is. We've never actually seen a plan, right? A plan is defined by measurable time, cost, and scope. If you look at the principles of project management, these are the three variables of a plan. So if you don't have a timeline that says that by this date we will complete this, then you don't have a plan. Plan includes time. Plan includes cost. To go from point A to point B by this date, it's going to cost us this much money. And then there's a scope. The scope says how big, how small, how many, right? What the quality of those things are. Is everything deluxe and grade A? Then that's going to determine the scope. That's part of the scope. And as you shift time and scope and cost, then one is going to affect the other. It's a system. You can't influence time without impacting the cost. You can't influence or change the scope without looking at how it affects time. And all of these together are going to determine the quality of your outcomes. That's a plan. Most of us don't have exposure to a plan, though, right? Or our exposure to the plan is very loose. It's very loose. Okay. So in order for you to appreciate what Orisha lifestyle can do for you, well, you've got to be ready, willing, and able to accept the value of a plan and to be willing to implement a plan and not just keep winging it, not just keep doing it as you feel it. Okay? A plan is going to cramp your style. A plan is going to set some real parameters for you. It's going to set limitations for you. In other words, if you practice the tradition properly, then it's going to make you fit within a certain, grid. And it's going to determine that you can do and cannot do certain things as you see fit. That's why you come to the tradition, though. You have come to the tradition so that it can change you, so that it can refine you, so that it can improve you. You're not here to change the tradition. This is a super major struggle for my people. You think that the tradition is supposed to accept you as you are and then validate and reinforce all of your weaknesses, all of your nonsense, all of your incongruencies. You want the tradition to justify you doing you. And that's not what it's all about. The tradition is here to help you be a better version of you. And a better version of you is more precise. A better version of you can't be messier. You can't be envisioning a better version of you where you're just freestyling more. A better version of you is going to be more precise, right? That means you're going to plan better according to who you actually are. You're going to be more exact according to the real environment in which you find yourself. The hard part of it for you also, in addition to that, the fact that you haven't really been exposed to planning, is that a lot of times the people who you're coming to for support and for guidance in matters of spiritual development have not been exposed to a plan either. They're not planners. They might be ritual specialists, but they don't know how to plan either. They don't know how to organize anything either. They don't have any idea about what I just described to you about time, about cost, about scope. They're ritual specialists and they're good at that. But you need more than that. The ritual is just the beginning. The ritual is the point of reference that tells you that these are all the real variables that are at play. Your plan is going to tell you how to carry it out. This is super important if you want to improve, if you want to elevate, if you want your life to be better today than it was last year, then you're going to hear what I'm saying and you're going to use this to help you discern. What I'm trying to help you to grasp is the discernment that will allow you to see the differences between service providers so that you can pick to work with people and groups of people that are going to help you improve, to help you become more precise. People that are going to challenge you to elevate your game and change and be the best version of yourself, not to just keep reinforcing and validating, your ego, your vanity, right? So I know that the folks who are leaders are going to hear what I'm saying, because you've already been in situations, you've been exposed to people and organizations that challenge you to be the best version of yourself, right? If you're one of those people and you are really determined to improve the world through positive influence, then I want you to find out how Oloye Obafemi Origunwa and the Orisha Lifestyle Academy can help you take your practice and your life to the highest, most pristine and elevated status possible. Visit me at obafemio.com or orishalifestyle.com, and let's start putting in that work to help you bring about the good condition for yourself and those who you are destined to serve. I look forward to working with you. Bye for now. Odabo.